Hello and welcome to another episode of Game on Onesies. I'm Slash Raptor, and this is House MD back again for another episode. Let's do episode 2, Blue Meanie. An abrasive chef whose body turns blue learns what her employees really think of her. It's kind of interesting. Under the Big Top was dumb and Globetrotting was dumb. So the other one I might do later would be Crashed, but that's probably as many as I'll do. If there was more for me to choose from, then it would be better, but there aren't. So let's do episode 2. Listen, you moronic subhuman cretin, I'm running a very tight ship here, and when I tell you to bring me my lunch at 1, I don't mean 1:05. Got that? Look, Lana, I've been working for you for... Got that? Yes. Get back to your station. Ugh, I made a mess of myself. Someone get me a paper towel. You've got to be kidding me, Russell. Don't leave it. Don't we have any decent paper towels? My hand's still covered in blueberry schmutz. That isn't blueberry schmutz. What do you mean? I'm what? Call 911! Blue Meanie. Those titles do not stay around long enough for us to read them. Lana Topol, I'm the patient who turned blue. Gregory House, I'm the doctor who recognizes the obvious when it's staring right at him. Okay, Dr. Gimpy, let's set some ground rules. You're not going to talk to me like that. Fair enough. You can stay blue for the rest of your life. Good luck with that. Wait. Look, I'm sorry. I'm just in a bad mood. I want to look normal again, okay? As far as you looking normal, that's something you and your plastic surgeon have to deal with. As for your condition, we're going to check your signs and symptoms. Examine the patient carefully and look for any signs of illness. Well, she's blue. And she's kind of overweight, but I don't know if that's a symptom. Maybe she's not as overweight as it looks. I don't think she's skinny, though. Alright. Ooh! Boobies! Let's, take a look here. Yes, your skin is definitely blue. I had to lift her shirt up just to figure that out. I couldn't just look at her face or her arms to determine that she is indeed blue. Ooh, look, there's boobs over here, too. I wonder if I can go down to her lady bits area. Nope. Oh, well. Okay, so there's nothing down here. Oh, legs? No, I wanted lower... Oh, there's another... What? I thought we did the symptoms up here already. Stomach pain. How can I tell she has stomach pain just by touching her stomach? Vomiting. Because there's green stuff in her mouth, I guess. Dry throat. Loss of consciousness. A chef turned blue in the middle of her restaurant. Either she's just had sex with Willy Wonka, or, well, actually I like that idea, but I'll take any other suggestions. Cystic fibrosis? No. Appendicitis? No. That one. Air sickness? No. Whatever it's called. Acrocyanosis. She could have connective tissue disorder. Acrocyanosis? It explains her blue fingers, but nothing else. Next. Angina. Anemia. Agnosia. Argyria. Argyria makes people turn blue. It's possible. If she used gold flakes in any of those expensive desserts, they could be swept up and aerosolized into her lungs, heavy metal poisoning. But it doesn't explain the loss of consciousness or the vomiting. Speaking of vomit, your diagnoses make me want to puke. Next! Pulmonary edema? I guessed. Can't be. Lana's chest x-rays are normal. You're right, Foreman. Good try, 13. Your chest is way above normal, by the way. Next! Hyperthyroidism? No. Acoustic neuroma? No. Aortic dissection? No. Aortic stenosis? No. Cerebral aneurysm? No. Aortic something something. Acute sinusitis? No. Aortic aneurysm? Aortic aneurysm. It explains the abdominal pain, the shock, the lack of consciousness. If Lana had an aortic aneurysm, she wouldn't have blue skin. She has more like a bluish pallor. Bluish pallor, right. Before I turn blue from strangling myself in despair because of these awful diagnoses, who's got something to save me? Aspirin overdose. No. Heroin overdose. No. Nicotine overdose. Nicotine overdose. Nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, and seizures are all symptoms. But the hallmark of nicotine overdose is muscle twitching and cramps, which Lana doesn't have. Yes, muscle twitching, otherwise known as fasciculation, which sounds like fascination, and since this is anything but fascinating, next! I guessed. Methemoglobinemia. Yeah, I said it perfectly. It does explain all the symptoms. Very good, Foreman. If you'd like, I'll reward you with a blueberry tart. Or a blueberry muffin. A blueberry smoothie. A plush Smurfette doll, maybe. You know what? You're obviously not skilled at this, so just get out of here. Oh, come on, I got a D-. That's the same thing you said when I got an F. How did I get 16 penalties? I didn't get 16 things wrong. Looks like our big bad-tempered blueberry has methyloglobin. So instead of finding hatred, bile, and evil in her bloodstream, she's probably just got an excessive amount of meth and in there. Who did the arterial blood test? It's weird. I did a pulse oximetry blood test on Lana, and her PO2 indicates an oxygen saturation of over 90%, but Lana's was at 83. There's a gap of 7%. Wow, Tob, you're Jewish and good at math. Amazing. Except you're wrong. Pulse oximetry measures how well lungs are carrying oxygen to the blood, but not the actual saturation of the oxygen in the blood. Okay, what color is Lana's blood? Dark. No, it's not dark. You're dark. I think you mean brown. 13, Foreman, test Lana's oxygen saturation levels with a CO2 oximetry blood test. And while you're at it, see if you can get Lana to make one of those tinfoil swans. Those are really classy. Is that Lana's blood? Yep. Let's get this CO2 oximetry test underway. Your performance has been shaky as of late. You're effectively on probation for now until your performance improves. I don't want to make you nervous, but I'm going to be closely monitoring your performance during these lab procedures. Even though you're not. Oh, this one I'm a boss at. This one's good. Use the centrifuge to separate out the blood components of this sample for testing. Spin the centrifuge in a circular motion. Maintain optimum speed indicated by the green area on the RPM gauge to the left of the centrifuge. Basically, you just go in a circle, and you just go, whee! And then you wait till it gets up to the green, and then you leave it there. And then you spin a little bit, and then you leave it there. Done. So easy. You've been doing great lately. If you need a consult on anything, I'll be happy to help. I'll lend you a helping hand while you do these lab procedures. That should help you get them done much faster. I like how 1 second Cuddy was saying that I'm doing a horrible job, and then as soon as I spin the blood really well, then Wilson comes in and says, you know what, you're actually doing a fantastic job. I'm not sure when they decided to use Wilson as like the second in command at the hospital. Pretty sure he's not. Oh, this one can be very annoying. This one is one I was talking about in the last case we did, where this is the only instance where I think it's actually useful for them to tell you what you have to do, because every time you do this, they use a different one of these colors up here. So basically what you have to do is you have to bring the blood from here, and then it works its way through these systems, and then it ends up over here to fill up this vial. Sometimes, depending on the instance, it depends on which thing you're mixing, and so it'll tell you which valves you have to open and which ones you have to close. The first 2 times I didn't understand this at all, but then after I did it a few times I started to get it. It's kind of annoying, and you have to spin these things just like the other one, except they're not as responsive, and you have to be clicking and holding them at the same time to spin them. But we'll see. Click on the valves to toggle. Detailed instructions will be displayed at the bottom of the screen. Open valves 1 and 2 to permit the blood sample and the red reagent to flow into the system. 1 and 2. So then you spin this guy. Oh, and then you have to close these ones, I think he said. Make sure valves 7 and 8 are open to enable the flow. And now you spin this one. Wait till it gets up into the orange. It's not going to work while it's in the orange. It's only going to work in the green. So what I usually do is I spin this a little bit, and then I leave it there, and then I spin this one. And sometimes it seems like it's going to work all on its own without having to spin the second one. Then you close this one, then you open this one, then you spin this guy. Then you close this valve to stop it from overflowing, and then you open this valve, and then you spin this guy. Sometimes it doesn't really work. Sometimes it takes forever to realize that you're actually doing it properly. Like now. Like, I'm doing it. Spin! Come on! Work! Stupid game. There we go. Now it goes. A. I did pretty good, eh? Lana has an unusually high level of methaglobulin in her blood. Well, it's definitely methaglobulin. Foreman 13, how did the CO oximetry test go? Lana's got high level of whatever that word is in her blood, which confirms our diagnosis of whatever that disease is. Good work. But how did the whatever get into her bloodstream? Could be antibiotics, dyes, various nitrates, which leads us to the part where we meddle in the little girl Blue's sex life. What does this have to do with meddling into her sex life? Well, if we get into nitrates, we get into amyl nitrates, also known as poppers, right, 13? Or it could be benzocaine, which you can find in various topical cold sore remedies and painkillers. So we're thinking Blue Thunder could be some sort of pervert or deviant, or she could be addicted to painkillers. Wonder what that's like. Me too. Anyway, whichever it is, sex or painkillers, we get a really entertaining show. Now I know, all of you want to ask Blue's Clues really obnoxious and prying questions about her sex life and possible drug use. Bad news, I'm going to do it instead. I've just got to have some fun with this job, don't I? So what's wrong with me? You're horrible, you're pushy, you're loud, you're obnoxious. Did I say horrible yet? Oh, you meant what's wrong with you medically. You have methyl... The good news is, we know that much. The bad news is we have no idea what caused it. Which is why I have a few questions to ask you. Select the right topic to ask about it. Corned beef. Just ask her about corned beef in general. Like, what's your opinion on corned beef? How about your recent diet? Did you eat anything right before you turned blue? Or were you too busy running around the Smurf village hiding from Gargamel? Let's see, I had a corned beef sandwich, french fries, a bite of my blueberry Danish, pretty much what I eat most days. Where did the corned beef question come from? How did he know she was eating corned beef? I don't like corned beef. It tastes weird to me. How about partners? How many sex partners have you had in the last year, not counting that back massager in your underwear drawer? Do I have to answer that? Well, you don't have to, but I'm directing this movie for cable called Restaurant Sluts, and you'd be so perfect for the wacky best friend. How about drugs, then? Did you ever use amyl nitrate? Or poppers during sex? Of course, that assumes you found someone who'd have sex with you in the first place. That's none of your business. Do you? Are you coming on to me? You know what they say, once you go blue. Allergies. Is there a history of allergies in your family? Because I've noticed you're allergic to friends. Nope, no allergies. Are there any chemicals in your home, like antidepressants or anything else that horrible bitchy people use to make themselves more palatable? Just the stuff in my medicine cabinet, NyQuil, Tylenol, that sort of thing. Restaurant. Are there any chemicals at your restaurant? Do your coworkers routinely poison you just to get you to shut up? Just cooking oil, salt? Do those count as chemicals? This conversation is getting off topic. No, it isn't. We're thinking that somebody might have poisoned her. How about vomiting? How often have you been vomiting since this happened? I vomited about once a day. I haven't vomited in like maybe 14 years, and I'm 26 right now. Diarrhea. What is the consistency of your diarrhea? Is it more week old banana or Jackson Pollock painting? It's more of the latter. Do we have to talk about that? Sorry, just one follow-up. Is it more like Jackson Pollock's early pieces or his later work? Do you do drugs? Is this what happens when you get high while watching Blue Man Group? Certainly not. I've never done drugs in my life. How about alcohol, then? Do you ever put a little peach schnapps in your cauldron when you have the other witches over? No. Well, I used to drink. I'm a recovering alcoholic. Hi, my name's Lana, and I'm an alcoholic. Hi, Lana. She's lying about something. How could you tell? She's got more tells than a bad poker player, and even though she's blue, I could tell when she was blushing. Top stutter on methylene blue. And 13, interview her coworkers. See if they know why she's blue. As in the color, not depressed. Although if she's also depressed, that would also be helpful to know too. Why don't you just take a picture? It'll last longer. Excuse me? Sorry, ever since I turned blue, I feel like everyone's staring at me. Don't worry, Miss Topol. I've seen worse, and I've definitely seen weirder. We're going to start you on methylene blue. Metallica blue? Well, methylene blue, but yeah. What? What does Metallica have to do with this? I don't get that at all. Still, giving me anything with blue in the title sounds a little redundant, don't you think? That's medicine for you. Medicate the patient. Interestingly enough, this is called methylene blue, but I don't think it's all going to come out of this blue thing here. No, we're giving her some green stuff too. And maybe some red. If we add enough different colors, she might change into something a little bit more flesh-like. Green. Red. 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 Let's try an additional medication. This really should just be all one thing that gets harder as it goes. It's very annoying how you have to lose your rhythm just for him to say, okay, we're going to add more medicine now. It's going to get a little bit harder. Now let's add an additional medication. Blue, red, green, yellow, blue, green, red, blue, yellow, green, red, blue, yellow. Oops, I did that wrong. Crap. See, and it also follows a pattern. It's boring. What now? Well, we need to keep you on methylene blue until we know what's causing your whatever. Blue skin. I still can't get over it. You know, I was in a fraternity in college, and one time we painted ourselves blue. You're not too good at this whole bedside manner part of this job, are you? Hey, I'm better at it than Dr. House. Got that right. And in the clinic we have... So there I was, fixing a customer's cable box, then all of a sudden it happened. Boom! Boom. You took a dump on the customer's floor? What? No, I got dizzy and fell on the floor. My stomach was really hurting like crazy. So, severe abdominal pain. No, you're not listening. It had nothing to do with my abdominals. It was my stomach. Sir, I think my IQ just went down 50 points just from talking to you. Is this guy insulting me? Come on, Ernie. Dr. House is trying to help. Abdominals is another word for your stomach. Oh, so yeah, my abdominals. They was hurting a lot. Okay, let's get inside your cable box and see if the wires are twisted. Weakness in the feet. And then what about here? Stomach pain. And then up here we have shortness in breath, maybe? Yeah. How about cramps? How long have you had these stomach cramps? And since you're a cable guy, do the cramps stop by any time between 10 and 6 p.m.? What? I've been having them for months. And now your face, you have vomiting, something in your teeth, or nausea at least.
No.
Do you get nauseous often? I get nauseous a lot. Sometimes I have to lie down. Why am I looking at his forehead with a magnifying glass? How about frequency? How often do you get headaches? I'm assuming you... How often do you get headaches? I'm assuming you don't get them at Mensa meetings. I get headaches nearly every day. Nearly every day, but not every single day. Work conditions. Do you ever find yourself rooting around in chimneys? That's a question I only ask cable guys, Santa Claus impersonators, and old-timey cat burglars. Yeah, a lot of my work is done in chimneys. Come on, Dr. House. What do you think? Am I sick? Calm down, Ernie. Give the doctor a chance. Monica, I'm running late for my next service call. If I don't make it, I'm down to make a living. If I don't make a living, we don't eat. Well, Ernie, I think you'll be able to keep your family on goober grape and microwave meatloaf dinners for another week. I know what's wrong with you. Really. You have carbon monoxide poisoning. Carbon monoxide poisoning? Don't we breathe carbon monoxide? No, we breathe carbon dioxide. Carbon monoxide poisoning often comes from inhaling exhaust fumes. A lot of the homes you go to probably have blocked chimneys, don't they? Well, yeah, how'd you know? The blocked chimneys can cause carbon monoxide to leak into your clients' homes. You breathe it in, and you get the mother of all tummy aches. Daddy has a tummy ache? He certainly does. Daddy also has an empty head. What do I do? We'll run a blood test to confirm. The good news is, if it is carbon monoxide poisoning, it's easily treatable. You just need to get out into the fresh air more. Stop breathing in all this crap. I'll make sure he does, Dr. House. Wait, you said that was good news. What's the bad news? You're still a cable guy. Oh, little cable guy, you dropped this. Thanks. Hey, someone bit it. Thanks, Doc. Hi, I'm Dr. Hadley. Lana Topol is a patient of mine. Lana? You mean Blue Meanie? Russell, stop. We're not going to turn blue too, are we? No, nothing like that. We're just trying to get to the bottom of it, and we have a few questions. Procedures. Does Lana have problems following proper procedure? No. Why? Does she have brain damage? Why? Does she have brain damage or something? No, she doesn't. That's too bad. I mean, that's great. Next question. Behavior. Has Lana been exhibiting any strange behavior lately? Strange? Good God, she's the queen of mood strings. Russell? Harsh. Although, one time she knocked my Zen garden off my workstation. How about awkwardness? Any instances in particular you can remember? Strange behavior? At her workstation I saw these white crystals. Or maybe it was white powder. I don't know. Yeah, and then the other day she went to the bathroom for a really long time. Do you know if Lana has a history of bladder problems? In a perfect world, someone like her would be wetting herself constantly. But alas, no. Does Lana take a particularly long time performing other tasks? Well, when she's gassy, she lets it out really slowly, if that's what you're asking. Lana takes a long time apologizing. In fact, she's never apologized to some people. Not that some people have noticed. Did she say anything when she came back from the bathroom? I don't remember her going to the bathroom for a particularly long amount of time. Well, she did, and when she got back, she was smiling ear to ear, and she had something white on her nose. Did either of you smell or taste the white stuff at her workstation? There's a lot of negative energy at her workstation, so I steer clear from there. What is she doing? She looks like she just took a really big shit and is proud of it. What is she doing? It looks like she just took a really big poop and is proud of it. She's like, look what I did. That's right, you guys can't see me. How about her nose? You mentioned seeing something white on her nose? Could you elaborate? Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was baking powder or maybe she was snorting cocaine in there. Cocaine? Russell, come on. Although I guess that would explain the white stuff I saw at her workstation. Mana used to be an alcoholic. Think she might have had a relapse? Oh, I don't think about that. Even that white stuff at her workstation could have been something like salt, you know? Yeah, we don't know for sure. Although I saw her sipping cooking sherry in the kitchen the other day. No, did you really? Did I say sipping? I meant guzzling it like she was a drowning woman in the desert and it was water. How long ago did you see her drinking sherry? Oh, I'd say a day or two before the incident. I just really hope she gets help. Are you sure, Russell? I haven't seen her take a drink in ages. Well, thanks for your time. We'll be in touch if there are any changes to Lana's condition. Come back anytime. I just talked to... Sorry to interrupt. House, what do you think you're doing changing Mrs. Weisinger's file? Well, anyway, folks, that's all the time we have for this episode of Game on Onesies. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you right back here in the very near future. And we'll find out why House has changed Miss Weisinger's file, and we'll see what's wrong with the cable guy, and we'll keep going into the case of the blue chef. So until next time, peace out, and as always, game on. See ya!